The next part that we're going to make is the half bevel gear, and this is used to turn the tail rotor around. Start a new part and start a sketch on the top plane, and first we're going to draw the main rim. So get a circle and draw a circle at the origin. This should be 12.6 millimeters in diameter, and then we can just extrude this upwards 0.4 millimeters blind. And let's call this first feature main rim. Then let's start a new sketch on either side of this. Then get the circle tool again and draw two concentric circles. The smaller one is 7 millimeters and the larger one is 9 millimeters. And then let's just do a blind extrude with that ring shape 1 millimeter. And this is just a little ridge on the back of that gear. So I'm going to call this rear rim. Then let's spin around to the other side, start a sketch on this face, get the circle tool again and draw another circle. This one is 7.8 millimeters in diameter, and then it's a blind extrude 2.6 millimeters high. So it should be something like this, and let's call that one front hub. So we should have something like this. This is the basic shape of the gear. We're now going to draw one of the teeth. So let's start a sketch on this large face here. Let's go normal 2, and first let's select these two circular edges and then press convert. And both of those circles should now be added to your new sketch. Then get the center rectangle tool and draw a center rectangle at the origin, something like this. We'll set the width of this as 1.5, so it's the same as the previous gear that we made. And then for the height, you can make this small top line tangent with the outer circle. That should then fully define your sketch, so we can use this for an extrude. Let's just extrude this area up here, so it's just one tooth. And it's the same height as that middle section, so it's 2.6 millimeters. You should just have one of the teeth like this, and I'm going to call that gear tooth. We can now use chamfers to angle off the edge of this tooth. So get the chamfer tool. This is underneath the fillet tool on the features tab. And the size of the first one should be 1.5 millimeters. It's a 45-degree angle, and it's just an angled distance chamfer. Then we can add that chamfer to this outer edge here. Next, we'll just chamfer two more edges. These ones are 0.5 by 45 degrees. So get the tool again, set 0.5, and let's just chamfer these two angled edges. So you should have something like this. That's the first tooth completed. We can then pattern this around so there's 12 of them. So let's select that gear tooth feature and also those two new chamfer features. Then let's go to features. Press the drop down underneath linear pattern and then choose circular pattern. So make sure you have those three features selected. We'll set 12 instances, equal spacing, 360 degrees. And then click in this top box for the direction of the pattern. And then we'll choose a circular face. So I'm going to select this one. And you should see a preview like this. Make sure you've got 12 instances and then press OK. And we should have added all of those teeth to the gear. Then one of the last things we need to do is cut out the axle hole in the middle of this gear. First, I'm going to start a sketch on the top plane. I'm going to go normal 2, and this axle hole starts like the usual one that we draw. So first I'm going to get the circle tool. I'm going to draw a 4.8 millimeter circle in the middle. Then I'm going to get the center rectangle tool and draw two center rectangles. They're both the same width, which is 1.8. And for the length, they're both linked to the outside of that 4.8 circle using tangent relations. So this is the same as the usual axle sketch that we normally draw, but there's actually some extra detail in this one. So let's choose the center rectangle again. Let's draw another center rectangle here that's a little bit longer, and then another one going in this direction as well. Let's make these short edges equal. And the width there is 0.85 millimeters. And then the length here is 7 millimeters. And that's the same for both of the rectangles, so you can make both of those long edges equal. And that should fully define your sketch. So it should be something like this. It looks like quite a messy sketch, but we're now going to just extrude certain parts of it. So let's go to Features, Extruded Cut. Let's choose Through or Both, and then click in the Selected Contours box. And probably the easiest way to do this is zoom in a little bit. And first, click on one of the outer lines of those thinner rectangles, and that will select the entire rectangle. Then let's do the same with the second thin rectangle. So click on one of the outer lines and that will select the entire shape. So initially we should just have this thin cross shape like this. We also want to extrude the usual axle shape. So let's move around. Let's get this long rectangle bit here with a curved top. It's also that small square in the corner there. And then it's the other long rectangle going horizontal. So for this one, it's the horizontal section, it's the corner square, and then it's the vertical section. And then it's the same on the other side as well. So you should have a shape like this. And then if we press OK, that hole will be cut. And if I go to a normal to view, you can see the exact shape of it. So it should be completely symmetrical, both horizontally and vertically. If you find that you've missed any areas, you can just edit that cut feature, and then you can add the missing areas using that selected contours box. I'm going to call that new feature Axle Cut. And then the final thing we're going to do is just round off the inner corners here. So get the fillet tool and set a 0.5mm fillet, and let's choose these 4 edges. And if you choose the wrong one like this, you can just click it again to deselect. Now we've finished the modeling, so we can change the color. So I'm going to go to the Appearance Scenes and Decals tab. I'm going to choose a medium gloss plastic, and I'm going to set it as cream colored. And then I'm just going to save that part. And I'm going to call this one half bevel gear 12 tooth because it's only half the size. And I'm going to put that number on the end, 30465. In the next video, we'll take these new parts and we'll complete stage 18.